The millionaire's son had never walked, not once in his life, until the new maid did the impossible. The mansion, vast and majestic, felt like a prison to Ethan. At 6 years old, with blonde hair and pale skin, his body was fragile, and his world was confined to the silent corners of the house. He spent most of his days staring out of the windows, watching the world go by, but never really feeling like he was part of it. His crutches rested in the corner of the room, reminders of everything he couldn't do. Doctors had visited over the years, each one speaking in fast, impersonal terms, leaving behind nothing but empty words that weighed heavily on Ethan's heart. He may never walk, they'd say. It could be neurological, developmental, motor delays, autism. His father had thrown money at the problem, but the outcome never changed. Ethan's life would always be limited. So, he was left alone in the cold, marble hallways of the mansion, his father constantly at work and his mother long gone with someone else. In the silence, loneliness became his constant companion. Then Eva arrived. She was the new maid, black in her early 30s and quiet. At first, Ethan barely noticed her, just another adult passing through his life. But Eva was different. She wasn't in a hurry to finish her tasks. She noticed things. She saw the way Ethan avoided eye contact, the way his hands trembled when his crutches were near. One afternoon, she found him sitting on the stairs, looking lost in his thoughts. "Why aren't you outside?" she asked gently. Ethan shrugged, barely looking at her. "No reason." "You don't like the sun?" Eva asked, her voice soft. "I don't like falling," Ethan replied, almost to himself. Eva tilted her head, her gaze warm but curious. "You fall often?" Every word felt like it took all of Ethan's courage. "Every time I try." Eva sat down beside him, her voice low but full of understanding. "Then every time you fall, you also get back up, right?" Ethan blinked. No one had ever said it that way before. Before we continue, kindly tell us in the comments. What time is it where you're watching from? Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's get back to our story. From that day forward, Eva never strayed far from Ethan. At lunch, she asked about the games he liked. At night, when his father worked late, she read him stories, filling the silence with her voice. Slowly, Ethan found himself speaking to her, not about his struggles, not about doctors or the constant pain, but about the small things. The birds he watched through the window. The dreams he kept locked away. One afternoon, Eva walked over to him, crutches in hand. "Let's try again," she said. Ethan tensed, uncertainty washing over him. "No," he replied, shaking his head. She didn't falter. "The doctor said you might never walk properly, right?" Ethan looked down, the weight of the words sinking in. "He said I'll never be normal." Eva crouched down to meet his gaze, her eyes kind but firm. "Normal is overrated. Who wants to be normal? I care about you, not your normal." A tear threatened to escape from Ethan's eye as his lip quivered. "Why do you care? You're new. You don't even know me." Eva's heart ached, but she smiled softly. "Because I've seen what loneliness can do to a child. I won't let it trap you." Ethan stared at her for what felt like forever before he whispered, "You won't leave like the others?" "I promise," she replied, her voice steady. "As long as you try, I'll stay." It was the first time he'd allowed himself to believe in a promise. Weeks passed. Eva, with endless patience, guided him outside, step by shaky step. When he cried, she was there to hold him. When he fell, she cheered him on. "Every fall shows that you tried. That makes you stronger than yesterday." One rainy morning, as they walked down the path, they reached a puddle. Ethan froze, clutching his crutches with white knuckles. "I can't. I'll slip." Eva untied her apron and spread it over the water, her eyes soft but unwavering. "It's not a puddle, Ethan. It's your bridge. Cross it." Ethan shook his head, fear gripping him. "What if I fall in front of you? What if I look stupid?" Eva leaned in closer, her voice gentle but full of belief. "You could never look stupid to me. And if you fall, I'll fall with you." But I believe you won't. Not this time. Ethan's heart raced, the weight of her words pressing against his chest. Ethan's eyes flicked from the apron to Eva's face, searching for certainty. You promise? Her voice cracked, raw with emotion. I promise. With a deep breath, Ethan lifted his foot. His whole body trembled. Slowly he placed it down onto the cloth. His crutches wobbled. Panic surged through him. Eva, he gasped. I'm right here, she said, her hand firm on his arm, steadying him. You're okay. Look, your foot is down. Now the other one. With a sob, Ethan pulled the second foot forward, dragging it until both shoes were planted. He froze, breath catching. I didn't fall. Eva's eyes blurred with tears. No, Ethan, you walked. His mouth hung open, disbelief flooding his chest. Really? Did you see? I walked. Eva pulled him into a tight embrace, nearly knocking the crutches from his hands. I saw every second, she whispered. And I'll see every step after this one. You're not alone anymore, Ethan. Not ever again. From the porch, Edward watched in stunned silence. His polished shoes scraped the stone as he stepped forward, eyes wide with disbelief. For 6 years, his son had never done more than a shaky stumble. Every expert, every specialist, every therapy session had brought the same verdict. Your son will never walk. Yet now, before his eyes, Ethan was taking steps. Weak, trembling, but real. And standing beside him was not a doctor or a therapist, but Eva, the maid who had only been in their house for 2 months. Edward's voice cracked as he rushed toward them. Ethan. The boy's crutches wobbled as he turned, sweat and tears streaking his pale cheeks. Daddy, look. I walked. Eva, help me. I walked. Edward stumbled down the last step, nearly tripping in his haste. His briefcase slipped from his hand, papers scattering across the grass. He fell to his knees, grabbing his son's small shoulders with shaking hands. You really did, my boy. My son, you're walking. Ethan's chest heaved with excitement. I thought I couldn't, Daddy. I thought I'd never do it. But Eva told me I could. She didn't let me give up. Edward's eyes darted to Eva, overwhelmed. Eva knelt just behind Ethan, her apron damp where she had placed it over the puddle, her hands raw from supporting him. She lowered her head quickly, as if ashamed to be seen. Edward's voice barely broke through the silence. You did this? Eva swallowed hard, her throat tight. It was Ethan, sir. I just believed in him when no one else did. Edward's throat constricted, and his voice trembled with emotion. Don't downplay it. You've done what money, doctors, and every expert couldn't. You gave him courage. You gave him life. His hands clenched around his son, a surge of gratitude flooding him. Ethan tugged at his father's sleeve. Daddy, can Eva stay forever, please? She promised me she won't leave. She's the only one who believes I can be strong. Eva's tears fell, but she shook her head, her voice quiet. Ethan, don't put me in trouble. Edward's voice cracked, raw with emotion as he cut her off. Trouble? Eva, you've saved my son. You've given me back hope. If anyone deserves honor in this house, it's you. Eva's lips quivered. I didn't do it for honor. I did it because no child should feel broken. Ethan isn't broken. He's brave. Edward's chest tightened as he stared at his son, brushing a hand gently through his blonde hair. Son, listen to me. You are not broken. You never were. I was the broken one for believing what others told me, for letting money be the answer instead of love. And Eva showed me that. Ethan's eyes shimmered with hope. So she can stay? Edward turned to Eva, his eyes filled with tears. Stay, Eva. From this moment on, you are not a maid in this house. You're family. And I will treat you as such. Gasps echoed from the servants standing in the doorway. Eva staggered back, her hands trembling as she shook her head. Sir, please, don't say things you'll regret. I never wanted. Edward stepped forward, his voice sharp and full of resolve. The only thing I regret is how long it took me to see the truth. My wealth, my power, none of it means a thing. You've given my son something I thought was impossible, and I'll never let that go unrecognized." Ethan reached for her, pulling at her apron. "Daddy's right. You're not just the maid anymore. You're my Eva. You're my family." Eva bent down and pulled him into her arms, tears streaming down her face. "Oh, Ethan, you'll never be alone again. Not while I'm here." Edward's hand rested on both of their shoulders, his voice trembling with emotion. "From this day on, nothing will be the same in this house. My son can walk and my heart has changed. And it's all because of you." Behind them, the mansion loomed, grand and imposing. But for the first time, none of that mattered. What mattered was right there on the garden path. A boy who had taken his first steps, a maid who refused to give up, and a father whose world had been shattered and rebuilt in a single moment. For Edward, the man who thought money could solve everything, the most shocking truth was this: the miracle his son had prayed for hadn't come from a doctor or a therapist. It came from the new maid who had walked into their lives and changed everything. If you were moved by this story, make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe for more unexpected, emotional tales, and let us know where you're watching from in the comments. We love hearing from you. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep watching.